So yesterday I finished cutting the rest of those boards, and as long as the saw was all set up at the right angle, I also cut the splices. Now of course the splices, as you can guess, are going to go over the corners like this. That might take a little bit of adjusting, but we'll soon see. Anyway, I was wondering, when I put this together, how good are the angles going to be? And like, is it going to match up? Sometimes what happens on paper doesn't always work out in the workshop. So I thought of a way here that I can just check and see if the angles are right. Because if they're right on this, they will be right on that. Because that's just a larger version of this. I think it's okay. Looks good to me. Suppose if I was to put a string around it and draw it tight, you would be able to tell better. But offhand, I'd say it's pretty good here. Maybe I will try a string. Oh yeah, that's good. They're almost good enough that I could probably glue them together and it'd be pretty strong. So if this is right, then this has got to be right as well. Right from the very beginning, when I first started thinking about this project, and before I even started drawing it out, I was wondering, how am I going to be able to cut out the inside of such a large dowel ring? And in my mind I was envisioning all kinds of elaborate jigs that I could rig up, and I thought, well, maybe I could do each segment separately. And in my mind I had a real elaborate jig system set up so that I could put each one of these pieces in the jig and it would rotate it through my bandsaw. And it was a big cumbersome thing. Last night when I was laying in bed, the solution hit me. It is so simple. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Yeah, that's probably why I didn't think of it before. It's just too simple. The inside of the ring has been drawn to a diameter of exactly 50 inches, and that's what I printed out here on my template. As far as I know, that's right. In other words, a radius of 25 inches. Now my plan was, and I emphasize was, that I was going to make up a jig that I could place the entire board into, and it would hold each board in the same position for each time, and then I would rotate it on a central point, and it would be adjusted just right so it would cut out the inside. But I was sort of wondering now, how am I going to make it so that it doesn't cut the jig? Because I was going to use the bandsaw. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could make it kind of upside down L-shaped, and it would have a bit of an arm that would swing over and hold everything, and then I could cut out the inside insert there. Well, then I realized, why am I having to hang on to the outside? Why not just hang on to the inside? I know I'm not maybe describing this too clear, but it's soon going to be clear. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I must be getting too old for this. Now I am noticing, however, I've cut these too long, because by the time I cut the arch out of these boards, this is going to, I suppose the best thing to do might be to just trim the corners off here and keep the length. I could shorten it, but I think it'd be stronger if I just cut these corners off. Anyway, I'll worry about that later. Well, these crappy looking pieces of scrap and this nail, that's basically going to be the jig. Now, I was going to use my tape measure, but I think possibly the ruler will be a little bit more accurate here. just mark this on the 25 and allow for the thickness of the nail, which is very little. I'm not going to be able to cut this accurately anyway. I'll make it just a smidgen under 25.
Now I'll bet you when you saw me do that, you said to yourself, measure twice, cut once.
Hey, Ron, your fingers are too close to the blade.
No, they're not. It's an optical illusion. A bad camera angle. I know what I'm doing. Been doing this for 103 years. Safety Sam, go sit down.
Okay, I think I got the right one here. Yeah, I think that'll just make it. Any longer and it'll go into the table. Now I'm not too worried about the top, but I want to make sure I get the ends here and the bottom flush as best I can. Okay, I think you can see what I'm trying to do here. I just want to make sure I get this edge here flush with this edge right here, and the same on the other one. And then where this line is, that's where the 25 inches should be. I think I pretty well got it, at least on this side. And then this side over here, I'll do that next. Okay, make sure this is still okay over here. Looks pretty good. Just hold it down, bring it up just a little here. Now, bring our paper down so it's lined up on the bottom. Put this one here, right on the edge. Like so. And we'll bring this one up here. Okay, now the idea is that I will make sure that I have this lined up flush with this edge here, and this one here flush with this edge here, and right up against the stops, and it should be lined up. Then when I put the next one in, exactly the same way, it should be on the same radius, which is 25 inches from here to the fulcrum.
Tomorrow, all being well, I'll be rigging up an extension on the table on the bandsaw, and we'll be able to give this a try.